Hello and welcome to Rainy Tuesdays, a podcast by friends for friends. Do we still use that tagline?
It's on everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Sweet. I'm here with Margot
Hi.
and Adam.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. But life is changing for you guys. Or I guess kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
Adam, you're done.
Yeah. Today was as of recording this, not per release, but this is my very last day of classes for the foreseeable future.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You
And
have
then
any
Ryan, you're like
exams?
practically done. Oh yeah, that too.
Basically.
Yeah, you're like pretty much there. Yeah. Does it feel like weird? Does it feel strange, or is it like finally?
A lot of finally.
Okay.
That's where I'm at right now. Maybe it'll feel strange in a week, but I'm like, all right, let's get through this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just winding down the clock at this.
Very fair. Yeah. What about you, Adam?
I don't know. There's definitely a distinct lack of motivation going into finals, and
Sure.
I don't know. It's more just, we've talked about this before, but more just like surreal to be done. It doesn't feel like it's happening yet.
Mhm.
It probably won't for a while.
That's fair. So it's a weird little thing.
Yeah.
New stage of life. Ooh.
But I don't really have the I like school, so I don't really have the can't wait to be done with this.
Sure.
It's whatever.
That's fair. Yeah.
Mhm.
That'll be good. You guys can, have a constant schedule.
I'm excited for that.
Well,
Yeah, it'll be nice.
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So we were talking a little bit about the new John Mulaney special, which Ryan and I have seen, but Adam, you have not seen.
I have not.
So we won't
I
do
think I saw the first 30 seconds that
Okay.
Netflix posted on TikTok,
Yeah,
and that is it.
fair.
Where he's
So-
just like, "Hey, I was in rehab and got
Yeah.
divorced." Things are pretty different, aren't they?
Yeah, that's pretty much like the whole special. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
the vibe I got.
I
Yeah.
was a little surprised by that was basically just it. There was like one joke
Really?
about like attention at the start,
Yes.
and then all of it is just stories about rehab.
Mm-hmm. Which I think.
I mean, I'm sure that's dominated his life.
Yeah.
That was pretty recent. That was 20. Was that last year? 2022?
2021 into
2020.
2022. So
Okay. But
yeah.
probably before
Yeah.
he was an addict, so can't use that material really. And then that
Yeah.
happened, and then you have a special. So probably that's what he has to work with. I
Yeah.
imagine.
It's
And it's all people have been talking about in regards to him for a while now. So
Yeah. I'm glad that he focused on this and not the divorce and quick baby with another woman kind of thing. He mentions this kid obviously, but it's not like let me spill the tea. It is just very much like his personal side. And like I was saying beforehand, I think this is like the best possible comeback he could have done. Just because like it's very open, it's very truthful, while still like maintaining, a very strong level of humor. It isn't just like, let's all pity me for an hour. It's very funny. And so it's nice that he's able to do that and he's able to like reflect in not like distracting ways. Like he's able to reflect on it and say like, no, I was like a shitty person for like X, Y, and Z like at a time. Yeah. And he like mentions in it his audience is mostly like younger people, predominantly women or non-athlete boys. And I think for that audience, that kind of like reflection is definitely wanted. Like he clearly knew his audience, and I think that's great. Yeah. I don't know, it's good. I think everyone should watch it if you've watched any John Mulaney specials and liked them. Yeah.
It's good to fold laundry too.
Really good to fold laundry to. Both Ryan and I did it. and I got all my laundry folded.
Same. It
Um,
really does remind me of a lot of like Dave Chappelle's more recent material, where it's just stories with like themes behind them,
sure.
which is like a lot of what Dave has been doing, a lot of what John was.
Fair. I've never watched any Dave Chappelle.
Most of them are pretty good, and then there's
Fair.
also some stinkers out there too.
Sure. Fair. I think I'm really, really picky with my stand-up comedians because sometimes they're not great. And that's sad. Oh well. But yeah, no, I definitely think this was a very good one. And it's interesting because Taylor Tomlinson, who's a stand-up comedian that I really like, she released one either earlier this year or late last year that was all about having been like on her mental health journey. And I think she got like diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Um, and again, hilarious and still very well done. But it's interesting to see this like new wave of things like about personal journeys and not just like let's be like goofy and silly like, and I wonder if it has something to do with like the inner looking that we've all done via pandemic and quarantine, to like see this very, very like open and honest type of comedy, versus like remember this time I did something super goofy with my friend back in the day. It's like I thought about my head, and when you think about it,
Yeah,
it's bad.
more
um,
real,
yeah.
personal, and relatable.
Hmm. I don't know. It's cool. It's a good time.
Yeah,
Alrighty. I have a really important question to ask you guys.
I have a really
Um,
important answer.
it's the only thing I've prepped for today. Everything else will be off the dome. So I saw an Instagram post of a Reddit post. Um,
Classic.
yeah, from r/no stupid questions posted by username Sniper64, so they get their credit.
Sniper 64 hitting us with the real ones.
Mhm.
Could
He
a
jumps off the
vampire?
building, 360 no scopes, and then asks the question.
I've done
That'll
that.
keep us thinking.
I'm a gamer girl. I've played one game of 360 no scope. Could a vampire policeman enter my house if they had a warrant?
Hmm.
I'm befuddled. I'm perplexed. I saw that and I was like, I need to talk this through with people because I don't know.
I would
Okay.
say yes. So here's what I don't understand: why can vampires not come in if they're not invited?
It's just like vampire lore,
Yeah, I don't know.
They just burn up a little. It's like the whole like they can't see sun.
I
They
mean, a lot
can't
of
see
like,
sun, I understand. They can't see themselves in mirrors, okay. Garlic bad, okay. I don't understand like, oh, a door. Someone better invite me in, otherwise I can't get in.
Yeah.
I know a lot of Fae lore or background is about like politeness. So maybe as part of that,
Oh.
they have like strict polite society rules they have to follow as part
Learn
of
your
their being
manners.
creatures. I have no idea.
Yeah. I guess I have like a few questions to like establish this to get background figured out on vampires, right? If I have a home and I invite a vampire in and then I die and then somebody else moves into their home, it is now legally their home. Can the vampire still enter what was once my home, or does it
Well,
have to be like permission from the living person owning it?
what if the vampire, stayed in the home after it killed you? Then would it get squatters' right?
Oh, well, see, that's a whole different scenario. It totally gets squatters' rights. But yeah, they leave. They didn't even kill me. I died of a heart attack. Because oh my god, a vampire's in my home. They're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. They leave. But then they come back after a while. Like, do they need permission again? Or is it just like once you get permission to any doorway, like that doorway is forever guaranteed kind of thing?
That's a great question. But it's
Mm.
also one of those things of like, I still don't understand this one. Like, okay, the garlic, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Steaks,
How does
which
that make more
okay, again,
sense?
steaks don't make sense. Why does being stabbed with something that's wooden kill you, but anything else is
Yeah, that is weird. I guess it's sort of like the silver bullet thing. Like they're like certain things are, not immune to certain things. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
trying to look up why this is is part of the legends.
okay.
It's not giving me a very clear answer. Just about like spiritual barriers and the
Right.
sanctity of the home, and I don't know.
Sure. Um,
So I don't know. Sure. And
that's
then the article is then like, and then in this common vampire media from 2005, this
right.
happens. I'm like, okay, that's not helpful to me. Give me the 1600s. Why
Yeah,
did
the
this
real
happen?
stuff. Um,
Ooh,
yeah.
Vampire Diaries wiki. The
Oh,
real answers.
yeah. You need Verbane. I don't know. I watched Jenny Nicholson's video.
Yep.
Um,
That's all. That's my exclusive knowledge of Vampire Diaries.
real talk for the like freelance writing job I had for that online journal. Um, I like they assigned me a few Vampire Diaries articles, and everything I know from Vampire Diaries is just Jenny Nicholson's video. So I just like watched that to get my article stuff. Sorry, sometimes people don't really check their sources. I trust her.
In per your question about if the ownership of the house changes,
Yeah.
per Vampire Diaries lore, that revokes the invitation.
Okay. So now
Interesting.
Because
that
few
I
people live
think can play into this Warren thing because that means that it does matter that you get specifically the person living there's like permission, right?
But is not a warrant an invitation from a judge?
but
Yeah,
it's
but
not an
it's like
invitation from the owner of the
yeah.
house.
Hmm.
So it's I think
Like
it's
unless
interesting of like you get legal authoritative permission and ability to enter this dwelling.
versus
And
like internal spiritual.
going full lawyer here, you could
Yeah.
argue that the actions of the resident of the building have given way for permission to
Oh.
be granted, because by doing this, you can expect that you have committed a crime or suspicion of being committed a crime, which would lead law enforcement to enter your house, and you are thus
Oh.
inviting them by conducting criminal activity.
I was even
That's why
wondering,
he's graduating law school.
what if the house is mortgaged, therefore they don't own the house?
Oh my god, that's another great question. Oh my god, wait, does a vampire have to go to a bank to say, "Hey, can I go in that house?"
I'm picturing vampire walks in, seduces the guy at the door, and the
Yeah,
guy's like, "Yeah, come on in."
yeah.
And then he goes to enter, and he's like, "Oh, I can't." He's like, "Oh, I forgot to pay my mortgage payment. The bank's repossessing it."
I've got 15 years left. Yeah, that's this is really interesting. I don't know.
But then it seems to not be about so much legal ownership of a house as much as like who is considered to
Like
be the owner.
residing.
Yeah,
Yeah. So in the case of squatters' rights, if I had a place because of squatters' rights, I am the person who gives permission to vampires, right? Right?
sure.
Okay.
But I guess like, so say a house gets abandoned
Yeah.
and no one is the resident.
Uh-huh.
Presumably, vampires could come and go at will, but then at one point, does a squatter move in, claim enough of a residence for it to now be their house and not just a place that they are existing, to
Right.
then have control over the vampire's ability to walk in? I would think that it's kind of per this like spiritual extra dimensional sense of like a house. They have to be like
Yeah.
lived, like everything that goes into a home. You have
You have to have, like,
your
cooked
stuff there.
there,
You
like,
wake
you
up,
like
you return there at night,
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, cooking, maybe decorations, like
mhm.
more than just a place to sleep, I guess.
Okay. Um, okay. I really want to get to the bottom of this. I think this is important. 'Cause like, what about like dorm rooms? What about like
They don't own the room.
apartments?
But
They would have to
you
go to the
do
university.
own, but it is your residence in
Yeah.
a
Like mail gets
metaphysical
sent
Okay,
to you
sense.
so
there.
it's not a legal thing. Who owns?
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Except in Vampire Diaries, when it changes ownership.
That's well, okay, fuck. If Vampire Diaries says it. Hang on.
Although for
Reconvene.
Vampire Diaries, if you change ownership, you've moved out. You no longer consider this your house. So
Yeah.
I would argue it has more to do with this sense of who considers it to be theirs and their home.
Like, what about a
Right.
hotel room? If someone's booking like a 5-night stay at a hotel.
Mm.
You probably wouldn't consider that like that's you understand it's temporary. You're
Okay.
only here
Well,
for
but
a
in
few
that
nights.
case, dorm rooms are temporary. It's just a
Same with
long
apartments.
temporary. Same with apartments.
So I
Anything
guess
you rent.
what's like the time period? If you get an
Mhm.
Airbnb for 3 months, do you
Yeah.
are
Is that your
you
residence?
can you invite vampires in for some old shenanigans in there?
Also, like, if like Ryan and I went to Adam's apartment right now, are
Mhm.
we allowed to like invite anybody in or not? In vampires specifically. Um
Oh yeah, like whose permission matters? If you
Yeah.
invite a friend over and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, sure, come in." I'm trying to think about like Buffy, because this happens
Yeah.
in Buffy where vampires trick
Like all the time.
other
Yeah.
people in Buffy's house, but I do think they're residents, like Buffy's mom or sister.
Yeah. Remember when Buffy had a sister?
I still think that's great. Yeah, she has a
They're
sister.
just
We're just
like,
gonna act like
by the
nothing
way.
happened, and it's actually
Yeah.
part of the plot now.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
what if a vampire comes to the door dressed like a plumber? It's like, hey, I'm here to fix your
Oh.
pipes.
Yeah.
They
First of
get in that
all,
way.
I'm
I
questioning
think so.
things. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Unless there's like vampire rules, they can't come in under false
Under
pretenses.
They have to be able to.
But they right? But then you
Yeah.
could always do that. Like, "Oh, I'm
But
the
also, how many
inspector.
plumbers are
Sorry,
coming in
gotta
at
check the
night?
pipe."
Not many.
Unless they're wearing a giant hat in the daytime.
Also,
But
like,
you
not
just
unless
just
you've
roll up
called
in your
them.
van and you're like, "Oh, so sorry. Longest day. I'm so behind." Because all these people are like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there between like 9 and 2," and then they show up at
Right.
4. So you just be like, "Ah, previous guy really got me held up. You should have seen the pipes at that place." Anyways,
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm leaning no. A policeman vampire cannot enter given a warrant.
I'm
I
leaning no as well.
understand your legal argument of my actions may have permitted it.
No, I
But
think it's BS. I made the argument, but I don't agree with it.
right, because I think there's some like vampire things where someone will like open the door and kind of like gesture, but not say anything. And they're
Yeah,
like,
but that
"Oh, can
that
I
doesn't do
come
it.
in?" And like those are my actions saying you can come in, but not me giving verbal consent. Yeah.
I agree with
I
no.
don't
I
know.
think with the rules we've established.
Yeah. All right, let's keep this train rolling. The H2O mermaids, they can't get water on them otherwise. Oh no, and they turn back into mermaids. That's exactly how Australians sound. I'm sorry.
Isn't that like the Disney Pixar movie that takes place in Italy, I think, or maybe South America
Oh,
or somewhere? I've not
Italy, I
seen that.
think. Yes, it's similar, I believe.
Did they do that?
I don't know. I've not seen the movie.
It's a similar thing of like mermaids, and
Aw,
I don't know anything about it
love
other than
it.
it's Italy and mermaid.
Sure. Is that Luca?
Luca, aha,
Yes.
Okay.
yes. Because there's like
Yeah,
a scene where he gets wet and then fish fin out.
right. Yeah, so this started in H2O, just add water, which is a lovely TV show where these mermaids are trying to like, you know, be people, but oh no, they can't get wet. Um, cause mermaids. So my
Yeah.
question is
Totally.
this. I haven't seen the show in forever, so I don't actually remember their specific rules. But let's say we're mer people and like these are the rules. It's just that we cannot get wet outside of water. What constitutes that? Because, like, what if we sweat?
Yeah, this was a meme for a bit on TikTok. So I've seen a lot of
Sure.
arguments about what is and what is not water.
Right.
Because sweat. What if you eat a watermelon? You know, eat a
Yeah.
watermelon. Like,
Celery.
or
Cucumbers.
like, I mean, eating anything in general. Like, there's
That has
water
water
in
content. Yeah.
drinking anything. Like, everything's got water in it.
Yeah.
So what counts? But I believe in the show, according to memes on TikTok,
Yeah.
the slightest bit of water on their skin is enough to count. But
So you
maybe
kind
the
of have to like
rules
force
are
slip watermelon. You kind of have to like just go teeth, but not let it touch.
yeah,
like-
maybe it doesn't count as you eat it, but maybe or it doesn't count if your body produces it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Interesting.
I don't know.
Alrighty. Fair.
I would hazard a guess that the H2O universe plays fast and loose with that water rule as the plot requires.
A boy I like is coming and I'm sweating now. Oh no, I'm a mermaid.
What if there should be a like spin off of it
Yeah.
where it's a human wants to live with a mermaid, but anytime like
Ooh.
bubbles or air touches them, they turn back into a human.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I love that. I'm looking up mythical creature rules and regulations.
The CFR.
This isn't what I thought I was gonna see, but what mythical creatures are sins? These aren't even mythical.
Sins?
Leprechauns.
No, it says toad. Snake is
What?
envy, lion is
Snake.
wrath, snail is sloth, pig is gluttony, goat is lust, peacock is pride. Something feels
Okay,
wrong
actually.
about that.
What?
I'm gonna go with I don't feel like goats are the lustiest creatures.
Goats have a lot of. They do it a lot. Anywhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, goats
alright.
are commonly associated with satanic stuff, which is then associated with sex. So.
Why are
Fair.
goats?
Yeah, I don't know. That's another
horns,
thing.
I think, isn't it?
Just horns.
Because isn't it like that's what Satan looks like?
Maybe.
Yeah, someone snapped a pic of him and wasn't looking good that day.
Yeah.
He had a beard and horns, and they're like, it's a goat.
And it really was just like his hair all crazy.
Right, I went in a new article and it's about the invitation thing, and then I started talking about the Global Psychic Communications Network, and I think this might be too high concept for what we're looking for. Ooh, the unprecedented cooperation between angels and gods. Are these just other articles, or is this still the same thing?
I don't know, man.
Who knows?
Okay, what about a werewolf? Do we think they have to see the moon to turn, or is it like anytime the moon is out? Because every like werewolf depiction I can remember in my head right now, a moonbeam comes through a window in a cage, and they're like, I've turned.
It's the light of the moon.
Okay, so if they're like deep underground, no windows.
There's a really great
tornado-safe room.
Yeah. There is a really great, really stupid SNL sketch from like a few years ago, where it's Kenan Thompson plays a dance instructor, and at nighttime, and there's a full moon, it turns into a werewolf, but the light keeps coming through, and he's got all these like different sets of blinds that are very convoluted.
That's so funny.
The Venetian blinds! Bang these internal blinds! Why did I install these? And each time, it happens like 3 times, he'll like go out and then come back with like more fur on him. And it's just different blinds. It's like, why would he have different blinds? But it's a great sketch. I enjoy it.
Okay, another thing. Those like daytime full moons, like where you can see the full moon while like the sun is still out. Does a werewolf turn?
I would say no, because they're also receiving daylight.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Like they don't get like full powers or anything. Like it's just like They just got a little headache. They're just confused. They don't
Seen
know
the
who they
meme of
are.
like, well, what if you put a werewolf on the moon? What happens then?
There's always a wolf.
Always a werewolf.
Werewolf astronaut.
Man.
I feel like
That'd
there's
be
a
a good band
Marvel
name.
character that's a werewolf astronaut.
I
He's
believe
a
it.
Spider-Man villain.
That's delightful.
What was the they did a Disney show about the werewolf.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was a like one-off thing. It's actually pretty good.
All right.
It's directed by Michael Giacchino. I don't think I said his last name right, but he does like all the music, everything. He does like The Incredibles music, Ratatouille, Spider-Man, a lot of stuff.
Cool.
Fair.
Werewolf by Night. That's the name. It's very good. And it's only 40 minutes long.
It's just one episode.
Yeah, it's like a little short
Which
movie.
is like
I
a
guess.
Halloween
40
special
minutes.
or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
I just wrote down. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go. No,
I was
no,
going-
after you.
I was going to continue the vampire invitation.
So was I. Go on.
This is just a message board, so big grain of salt here. It's not even Quora, it's some random one. But this person says that so myths are always based on, like general sentiments among kind of demonizing things they don't understand. So it's arguing that what vampires have to be invited in is because vampires are seen as foreigners and kind of a message to be wary of inviting people that you don't know into your home or country.
Okay.
But alternatively, someone else says it's more of a like demon, Satan, sin of Christianity, that you have to like let the temptation of sin corrupts you, and so
That
it's
makes a
about,
lot
like,
of
resisting
sense.
that temptation,
Yeah.
and then you don't let it in, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that tracks to me.
But I mean, with all myths and legends, it's built up over time and
constantly changing. Stephanie Myers
constantly
gets her hands
changing
on it and just turns them into sparkly boys. All right. So, vampire weaknesses. There's another thing I want to talk about because I just saw this on sci-fi.com. The average vampire can be killed or at least thwarted by a stake through the heart, decapitation, fire, silver, garlic, the sight of a crucifix, holy water, or running water.
Yeah, that's a big thing, that they can't go over running water.
I didn't know that one.
A lot of mythical creatures have that.
Well,
Because running water is often referred to as.
Whoa, okay. I looked up and I saw this.
And it's
thing
like
that
a
said,
purifying force, like going back to Christianity too, like baptisms, like
sure.
running water seen as pure, so
Okay.
devilish beings can't cross it.
I just saw this thing that said if it's immersed in running water, he is thought to be helpless and will be destroyed. And it stems from the analogy of water to a mirror.
Okay.
Now I'm even wondering about garlic.
Yeah.
Like why garlic?
Why? I'll look it up.
Why they have like an allergy to garlic? And I guess it kills them. I thought it was like I don't like that.
Yeah, I thought it was just like a repellent.
Why don't vampires like
this is a
garlic?
charm you can use to ward them off.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a few different answers here. Some European beliefs around vampires stated they were created by a disease of the blood, so a powerful antibiotic would kill it, and they think that like garlic has antibiotic powers.
Does garlic have antibiotic powers?
And there's like old English. They don't know anything about medicine.
Garlic is a blood thinner, so it makes your blood less desirable. They're like, ew, tastes bad.
Does it really? In your blood?
I don't know. These are according to people on the internet.
Garlic contains allicin. This is a strong antibiotic.
Wow,
Nice.
look at them.
It can cure things.
They're onto something.
Much like salt, compounds in garlic can ward off decay, so it's thought to ward off the undead.
Garlic.
figuring out the important questions today.
It is known to be a blood thinner due to its anti-platelet property.
Hell yeah.
That's not very good.
Okay, so I found 4 theories
But
from
they recommend you
local
don't have it
media.
after surgery.
Oh, wow. That's good to know. First thought, garlic smells bad. And vampires have a heightened
Garlic
sense of
smells
smell,
great.
apparently.
I was gonna say I don't mind the smell.
I like it too.
If I'm around it for a little too long, I'm like, okay, I'm a little tired of it.
Sure.
And it like definitely like sticks to like if you're ever like a good example of this is like meatloaf or something where you like make it with your hand and your hands will start to smell like garlic for a little bit, and
Sure.
that's a little weird. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so this next theory is the antibiotic theory. There's another one, that it's just thought to be like a charm against all types of evil spirits. In both China and Malaysia, children will have their foreheads smeared with garlic. In the West Indies, it also is protection against witches and sorcerers, and also in the Christian church to banish evil. So most like religions and cultures were like garlic's a protection. So of course it protects against vampires. Fourth reason. I like this one the best. Garlic helps to open your third eye.
Ooh.
The third eye is said to be our doorway into the spiritual world. And some Eastern and earth-based religions believe that garlic can detox the body and decalcify certain glands in your brain, which is generally accepted as the source to open your third eye. There you go. Garlic's a superpower.
I'm just gonna chow down on some garlic bread, and then
Yeah.
I'll learn the secrets of the universe,
Oh
and
my
I enjoyed a
God.
good snack.
Enjoy. Ugh. I love garlic bread. Can we talk about it?
Garlic bread's great.
It's so good. Have you guys tried garlic confit, like where you like it turns garlic pretty much into just butter?
No, I don't think so.
It's so good. You gotta try it. You basically just cook garlic in olive oil for like hours. It's tasty. All right. Well, I don't know. Do you guys have any questions about mythical creatures?
no, I'm
Yeah, I
just
was
still
just trying to
reading
think about that.
a lot about garlic. There's a lot of like, oh, it might help with this, but science doesn't know. They're like, it might
Mm.
lower your risk of cancer, but no one really knows.
Don't they say that about anything with antibiotics in it? Like, don't they say that about blueberries all the
It
time?
is technically a blood thinner. Like if you have blood clots, they say you could
Eat more garlic. I gotta tell my one friend that. Oh my god. She has so many blood clots, but she hates garlic. Oh no.
No.
Wait.
Why? Is she a vampire?
We joke about that every time because I'm like, but garlic's so good.
It is so good. I don't understand how people cannot like it.
Some people are
It's
just weird,
great.
man.
The
Some bad
key,
taste buds.
actually, if you ever want to improve any meal, is get some garlic salt. Just
Yeah.
dump that in there.
Delightful. I learned a little
Fantastic.
cooking hack, specifically with garlic salt or powder. You know how sometimes they like clump? Like in the shaky thing, they like get a little clumped. You always want to, with any of your spices, put it into your hand and then throw it in the pot that way, because the steam from the pot cooking is what makes it clump like that.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't know that, and I've been doing it ever since, and I've not had clumped things. It's a delight.
Garlic on your hand.
Yeah, I know, but it's like a little powder.
A little snack as you go. Just lick. Just like a cat, you lick, and then you go back to what you're doing.
And then you rub it all over your hair.
Yeah. Okay. I've been doing it wrong.
And then you ward off vampires because now you're smelling garlic.
Yeah.
If a vampire comes to your door and is like, let me shake your hand.
Oh my god. Okay, so
I saw a thing once about how a vampire's greatest nightmare is Italy. because crosses everywhere, garlic and everything.
So true. Italians.
Italians.
Everywhere. Yeah.
I was searching through Am I the Asshole stuff.
Are any of them good?
I don't
There's
know,
a lot
not
of like
really.
not the assholes usually.
Yeah.
Sure. Classic.
It's just hard to find ones that are like difficult situations.
Yeah.
Because even if they are, everyone says like clearly one way or the other, you can sometimes tell that the story is being skewed a little bit. You're like, we need
Right.
more details for this.
Exactly, or it's like, okay, from your perspective, I see, or like the way you're wording it is a little bit.
I would love for it to be like a cooperative event where it has to have both sides. Like, in order to submit a story, both parties have to submit their version of the story.
Like a court system
Yeah.
of like, and
Of
now you
popular
present
opinion.
your side.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you do get the people responding, but that's kind of rare.
Yeah. That's fair. All right. I have a few topics in mind.
Hit us.
One, do you guys have any like stupid goals that you like really want to accomplish? Like something that you're like, is it like life-changing, life-altering? Probably not, but I really want to do that.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Fair. Like any like shockingly accomplishable.
When I don't know if I've talked about this before. I have a feeling I have. When I was a kid, I wanted to get a license in every type of vehicle. So motorcycle license, boat, and you don't actually need a license for boat, I don't think. But truck, plane, whatever.
That's so fun.
Maybe I have
Wait.
no desire to do that anymore.
Sure.
But
that's exactly the type of goal I'm talking about. That's
I also think
beautiful.
it was fun. Also not possible in the United States, but to go from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Pacific Ocean in one day. You
Yeah,
could probably do that in Mexico.
probably.
You could definitely do it in Panama.
That's what it's there for.
I don't know. I would like to go like sort of along that lines on like a cross country road trip. I've done a few before, but
Fair.
want to visit every state.
That's cool. That's
That'd
a
be
good
good.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. We talked about that before, but that video where those two guys go see every rainforest cafe in the country. Like, I love stuff like that. Of like,
Such a
what
video.
other random road trips of little known restaurants? Like, there is this restaurant that has since gone out of business called Sweet Tomatoes, which was a buffet style restaurant, and it was delicious. And my girlfriend and I ate there all the time when there was one in Chicago, but it closed. And then they had some in like West Coast and then some in the South.
Yeah.
And I was like, gotta go visit. But then COVID happened and can't really run a buffet style restaurant in COVID. So they're all gone now.
That's fair. We could totally do something like that. That'd be fun as hell. What do you guys think counts as visiting a state? This is a very rule heavy episode.
I feel like you have to see an attraction.
Okay.
So it can't be, you can't have just gone through, you can't even have gone through, stayed at a hotel, and then kept driving. You had to have visited a location in that state
for that.
Some period of time.
And it can't be like taking a picture with a state sign.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta like spend a day there.
Yeah. Okay.
And like do something there.
Yeah. That's very fair.
So like when my family went on a road trip out west, but we stopped in St. Louis to see the arch and everything.
That counts.
So I would count that. I mean, I've since actually stayed in St. Louis, so I've definitely unfortunately visited Missouri, but I think that's kind of the factor of like you get out of your car, you go see a thing for a couple hours, maybe get some food, and then you get back and go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Something my partner and I have started doing on day trips is we go to a coffee shop and an ice cream shop. And And that's like how we know we've visited a place is we hit one of each. And it's delightful. Yeah, but I don't know. Um obviously like there's the like skydiving type of thing that I would love to do. But I feel like that would be life changing in some way. Um
Yeah, I'm trying to think of
like
like the question
truly
said, like
dumb goals.
dumb
Yeah.
goals. Like I'd love to see the Northern Lights.
But that's cool.
That's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool thing.
And that I'm sure that's some
Yeah.
sort of like experience, you know?
Yeah, like bucket list
Yeah.
activity.
I wanna do something truly stupid and not like dumb to do, but just like the visiting every rainforest cafe. Like that is an idiotic goal to have, and I wanna do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, can you walk around the whole thing of Niagara Falls?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Like, I know there's, like, a New York side and a Canada side. I've never been. I don't know the details, but can you, like, go side to side? That
The
feels like it's close to stupid.
I think the falls themselves are all on the New York side.
Okay, so you can't actually, like, walk there.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've been there. I'm trying to remember. Because
fair.
there is New York, but it's referred of like the town in the sense of like civilization is here and then
Yeah,
here, but not
right.
like I don't think, and because there's a lake too. The falls
Right,
drops into the lake,
okay.
so I think in that sense there are sides, but I don't think the falls itself has
Mm,
like
that's a
goes over
bummer.
the border.
Okay, very fair. Huh, I'm just gonna look up stupid goals.
There is in border things, um, the four corners of the United States, so like
Oh,
going through
yeah.
there. There's also in Europe for Norway, Sweden, Finland. There's a point where they all meet, um, way up north, so you can run through
Okay.
all that.
I
I feel like
love
that's a
that.
stupid goal. I feel like I
Yeah,
can be like, "Now in this state, in this state, in this state."
absolutely.
Or like with colonialism, there's tons of weird enclaves of countries, so you could just like speed run countries by their enclaves.
That's pretty exciting.
Like I'm gonna
Um,
go to UK through Gibraltar and then into Spain and stuff like
fair.
that.
Um, okay, well, these are just, like, prank adjacent. Like, call someone and tell them you can't talk right now. Funny, but not really a goal for like oh, man. Yeah, alright, these are all dumb. I don't know, I feel like it has to just naturally happen. Just has to come up with it
Yeah.
because these are goofy and dumb,
Talk
but
to the
not in a
guys
fun
that
way.
went to all the rainforest cafes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a lot of their videos are similar concepts to that.
that's fair.
Like
Yeah.
the one guy's like, I'm gonna bowl a perfect game in Wii bowling.
Oh my god. Wait, yeah, that kind of thing is, like, beautiful. Alright, different question. Oh, different topic, actually. I wanna rant,
Okay.
about Redbubble, um,
Oh, I heard
which
something about that, that they're screwing over
yeah.
What's up with
artists.
Redbubble?
Yeah, so, like, I joined Redbubble in 2021, and
With
it
an X art?
with an anxiety,
Oh
thank you.
yeah.
But, um, it it was, like, very good, it was super, user-friendly interface, it was, like, print on demand. It's a popular type of website, but Redbubble was the most reputable one. Basically, you create designs for them, and then when people order them, they will create, like, the actual item to sell. And the typical thing that happens is they have a price and then you can set your artist margin. It's preset at 20%, but you can increase or decrease that and that'll change the overall price. Um, so basically you would get like 20% of the sale. Um, and that's fine, that's whatever. But they've just like announced, they sent out an email to all of their sellers that they're going to put everyone into tiers. With like the majority of the people being in like your standard tier, and then they have like 2 tiers above that for higher sellers and everything like that. But then now basically for smaller creators, they're taking roughly 50% of that amount. So like if I sold something at 20%, then I would only get 10% back. And that's never been their standard. It's like just a new way to, get more money for them. But I don't know, it's kind of mean, kind of shady. They're like also not promising protections copyright wise to their smaller creators either, which is even worse. So it's a whole time. I'm mad at them and I'm leaving. Yeah, I'm gonna look up other print on demand sites and
So if you're interested
on.
with an X art on, where are you on now?
I am on Instagram and Fiverr, and you can commission me in both. So yeah, a whole time.
But yeah,
Oh,
I just don't understand like why these companies and behind the scenes we lost connection. Up to you how obvious that was, but so I had a brief conversation where I've already stated this, but I don't understand these companies that their whole business model depends on these creators, and then they're like, you know what? Let's just screw them over. Like, just makes no sense to me. Like, compared to OnlyFans buying porn, of like, this is your entire business model. Is
yeah,
these people like
you
Redbubble
can't
and
get rid of
others?
it.
Yeah.
How are you going to screw them over?
Yeah.
What? Makes
And I
no
know I'm
sense.
not the only like Redbubble artist leaving.
No,
Like
yeah,
I know a
I'm sure a
bunch
lot
of
of
us
artists
are.
will.
Yeah. Because it's not a sustainable like revenue source anymore for us because
Yeah.
it's just completely being taken away unless you're like one of their top sellers, in which case max they would take is I think about 15% once you do the math. Um, and it's like 15% from like thousands of dollars is not as big of a hit from like what their smaller creators will take with 50%. Um, yeah. And it's also not like a flat rate or anything. It's not like proportional for how much money you're making in the way that you would think. It's the exact opposite
Yeah.
of that. Um,
Bizarre.
it's just kind of like disheartening. And I'm hoping that other print on demand sites don't follow suit so that I can find one of them.
It's a disheartening time for artists, I
Yeah,
feel like. With AI art, but then
yeah,
also there's not really a great place for artists, especially if you do not safe for work art of like a lot like
sure. Yeah,
Imager. I don't know how to say it. Just ban porn, like
Oh, I heard
right.
about that.
um
Yeah.
a lot of I think Reddit's doing something about pornography as well. I'm not quite sure how that works, but there are just vanishingly fewer places for artists to reliably make money off their art when they're
Absolutely.
threatened by other factors as well.
And it's also just like, I don't know, I've been applying to a ton of jobs, leaning more in like artistry, whether it be like an artist or an illustrator or like even some like poetry ones. And so many of them now, it is so like frustrating to me. So many of them are to train AI.
Oh,
Like
that's
to
disgusting.
create art for AI to learn from so that they don't have to like deal with copyright issues. They would just outright own it and then the AI can like do whatever they want from that. And it's like, I don't want to do that. That's not what I think like art is.
No.
Um and it's like that type of art would never see the light of day. It would just be a part of a program essentially.
And
Um
contributing to the death
of art.
your
Yeah.
of art. Yeah.
Yeah. Um So it's real
But then artists,
disappointing.
like someone's gonna do it because you need money.
Yeah. Um,
God, it sucks.
yeah. And I don't know, it's a lot. It's upsetting and down with Redbubble. Um, yeah. I don't know.
sucks for consumers too, because Redbubble is so great. Like
It's great.
I know it's the place where I can shirts, stickers, like I don't know, whatever I might want.
Yeah.
I have a lot of stuff for Redbubble.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what alternatives.
I'll let you know when I find them. Yeah, they're something, I don't know. It is sad because, yeah, they're definitely the most reliable one for both consumers and sellers, but now they're, like, screwing over the sellers.
Yeah.
And, like, even I know I, like, made it seem like the 15% from big sellers isn't that big of a deal, but at the same time, like, that was previously guaranteed income to those sellers, and
Yeah,
now
like
it's just
everyone's
gone.
losing out,
Yeah.
Mhm.
all because they're
Um,
getting greedy.
I
yeah.
feel like
Crazy.
I think the reason they're doing that is like in order to be a successful business, you have to be increasing your profits.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't see a path forward with that. And I think they've probably
Maybe.
run the numbers, and like the number of people they're going to lose is going to be
Worth it
not
to
as
them.
much,
Yeah.
versus raising the prices.
I don't
Right.
know. It's probably there's a big problem in my non-economic view of corporations. The
Sure.
corporations are exclusively focused on short-term profit margins and that sense of we have to continually be increasing profits. They're not satisfied with long-term slow growth. It's
Mhm.
like you don't have to be subject to the whims of shareholders. Just have your company make the money you're always been making, and that's probably fine. In my view.
Yeah. Economically, the problem with that is if you're not expanding or increasing your like growth or revenue, then if you just keep doing what you're going to do, you're going to lose money, whether that be money from investors or just like money in general.
And, like, that
So
makes
it hurts
sense.
a company to just
I mean, I
like
get,
stay stagnant.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense
but
that way.
I,
Like it should. You'd be like,
but
okay,
is
a
that
company
not a
could just
problem with the, I don't want to say culture, but culture of
Consumerism,
corporations
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know, consumers, but more like corporations, like investors. Like investors will pull out if they don't feel like they're making more and more money. But
Exactly.
is it
Isn't it
not?
better to have
Is it
something
not better to
stable?
stable, reliable?
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's short term,
It doesn't look good if it's a
most money
publicly traded
possible.
company,
Right.
because that's like, why would you invest money? It's not going to go up or down.
Mhm.
And
I
if no
guess
one's
that
going to
makes
invest money,
sense.
it's going to go down.
Sure. I don't know. I'm annoyed. I wanna go back to a bartering system. I think everyone would have something to offer in that world. But
Oh, they're an Australian company. Redbubble is.
well, now I have one more reason not to
That
like
bubble.
Australia.
They are publicly traded. I was looking to see if you can buy stock in them. They are.
Okay.
I think the whole stock market's stupid too, and contributes to a lot of these same problems. That it's just
Fair.
gambling.
Yeah.
But and I get it as a corporation way to raise profits by selling shares in your company. You get money back,
Mhm.
but it turns into this gambling
Game,
scheme
yeah.
running into all these same problems of short-term profits, which are detrimental in the long term to society
And
Yeah.
to your company.
and
Like,
to your employees. And
yeah.
it's really only benefiting the top 1% because they're the ones making all the money out of it,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is how everything is, I suppose.
Yeah.
So just they're making the 1%'s making the system, and that system benefits themselves
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the short term
You
because
also
that's all they need. They'll be dead
Yeah.
after that.
you also like run into your like Netflix problem where the company itself has no money or doesn't generate any money. It's all
Yeah.
off of value.
And I was thinking about that for Netflix of like, I do think that this password sharing thing, there's just a headline about how they lost like 1 million subscribers in Spain where they started cracking down. They wouldn't have done this if shareholders hadn't pushed them. They're like, hey, this is a problem. We could be making more money. And
Right.
Netflix is like, but we're going to lose people, but we have to subject you to because they need the money.
Yeah.
And then you're going to kill your business because you're doing something that's stupid and no one wants.
Mhm.
But shareholders don't see that because they just see that the dollar sign isn't going up as much as they want it to.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I went for silly, goofy vampire rules too.
The problems with
depressing state of
capitalism.
capitalism.
Life is all about balance. This episode is a good, healthy dose of silly and sad.
I'm also no expert on the economy, and these are purely my thoughts and feelings.
Sure, but I mean,
I
like,
took one business associations class in law school, and that is it.
I think that's like still an incredibly valuable opinion, though, right? Because like you're impacted by the economy
But,
every
yeah.
day. Like every person is. So
Mhm.
even if it's not from like a business mind standpoint, like it's still an important opinion to be voiced and be heard.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know.
I think I was just thought of this, that in the tech world, there's been a ton of layoffs. Like obviously Twitter, but Google laid off a ton of
So
their
many.
workforce.
I have
I
a
think
friend who
Facebook
works
did
for
the
Google and
same.
he's like so scared constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what prompted that, although I imagine this is part of it.
It is
Ryan, you might
Right.
know.
part of it, yeah. Just because along with that, it's a growth mindset of they need to keep expanding. And the way you expand is by getting like more and more employees. The problem is they're hiring these people, but they don't necessarily have jobs for them to do, or the jobs that they're doing are like then someone like audits it or like realizes like, hey, why do we have this whole wing of people that's job is to like change the color of like the app?
Right.
And it's like we don't need these people, and then they fire them, or they realize like, oh, our company didn't do well this quarter, we need to like cut costs, and so they look at like people that they just hired, because they're not
Right.
going to fire people that've been there for a while. They're going to look at who they've like just
Yeah.
hired and then get rid of
Yeah.
those people.
I mean, that is a good point about like superfluous employees. I saw an article about this woman on TikTok who had a job at Facebook, like a 6-figure, well-paying job to do nothing. Of
Mhm.
like, it was very much like, yeah, we're thinking about maybe doing this thing in the future, and we'll have like a meeting ever so often to check updates. And that was like the extent of her job, and she just kind of sat around all day, remote,
Yeah.
getting paid like $150,000. It's like you can cut costs there. You don't need these people.
Mhm.
Oy. Yeah.
Maybe
I don't
stop
know.
switching up everything. That not Rain on My Parade, it's not big enough. But Google Drive changed the way they look. I think it looks way worse.
Wait,
I
did they?
agree. I specifically like Google Docs. You see less stuff at the top now.
Yeah.
Docs.
The one
I
thing I
also
do like,
dislike that it auto like selects. So if I want to just
yes,
open anything, document, whatever, it selects it. So if I transition back to Google Drive, I can't go back into folders because I've now selected that
yes,
document to do
yes,
something with. I don't want to select the document. I want
exactly.
to open it.
I've had that problem too. And
I hate that.
the only one thing I like now is that once you click on something, there's an icon at the top to download it. They're
That's nice.
finally accepting that Google Drive is a file sharing service.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because for the longest time, they're like, no, Google Drive is not a file sharing service. And it's
And
like,
to like right click and
I mean,
yeah.
but right click's
you
like,
could right click it, but it's
that's
like,
how you
wow,
download anything.
a button. It's like the first button. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you guys know.
That is nice. Yeah.
You know what you're here for.
Optimizing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just annoys me every time because I'm
It
like,
does,
this
yeah.
used to be so simple. I'm constantly opening documents, and now I can't. It just adds steps that I have to deselect anything I
Yeah.
open
Yes.
to return back to what I was doing before.
I think, yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't think the selecting is a bad feature because before, like, if you wanted to select multiple documents, it was
Mhm.
like sort of hard to do because you had to like drag it, and in order to
Mhm.
drag it was difficult. But like, just still leave the option to go back at the top.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, don't get rid of that. And I
Yeah.
mean, I think like now, if I mouse over a document, it has that little select box on
Yeah.
the left. Like you could just leave that so it's easy
Exactly.
to select and not auto select it when I hit just double click to open. Like
Yeah.
just don't make
Exactly.
them the same button input. And yeah, don't get rid of my back to folder whatever because I selected a
Exactly.
document.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't select a document, I just wanted to open it.
Mhm.
Ridiculous.
Oh man.
It annoys me every single time I look at it. And I have to look at it a lot because I use
Uh.
Google Docs for a lot.
Fair. Yeah. Well,
But I guess it is like people use Google Docs as a file sharing service, and that makes it more easy.
Yeah,
I've
to
done that
file
twice today. I've said more easy. easier
easy.
to share files.
There. Alrighty. Well,
Nope, never mind. Go ahead.
what rain on y'all's parades?
I don't know. I guess my internet. There'll be like 2 cuts in this episode.
Sorry.
Get in the comments to let us know where you think those cuts are.
Ooh, yeah.
I think they'll probably be very obvious.
Editing skills.
You're gonna make me actually edit an episode. Oh no. I just have a preset of audio fixing things that I throw on everything now, and then I just kind of run with it. Like, yeah, anything else other than internet?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. A good thing. I'm almost done. I'm so ready to be done.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun. Oh, I like that. Do you have any like celebration plans? Like any like graduation parties or like nights out with friends or anything?
I don't know. Probably go to bar crawl.
Love that. Yeah,
that'll be fun.
I think so. Adam, look deep in thought.
Yeah, I'm racking my brain trying to think of anything to talk about. The thing is, earlier this week, something happened that has since left me. And I was like, perfect. Can save that for what we're in my parade because I can never think of anything. And lo and behold, it's gone. Well, I don't know.
Fair.
I guess nothing new. Can never find a block of feta cheese at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Once again, went to 3 different stores before I could finally find it. And then it was not in the... So, okay. This is going to be a rehash of a story I've told multiple other times because it keeps happening to me.
Hey,
went to Hy-Vee. They've previously had it in the specialty cheese section.
Yeah.
Well, but they changed everything.
Got it. Well, that's true. They did change everything. But the specialty cheese section is still in the same area. So I was confident. Went straight there. Yeah. They have nothing but cheddar cheese. I'm like, okay, not very specialty if it's one type of cheese. But okay, there's another cheese section. So I go to the other cheese section. And they do have feta. They have feta crumbles. I don't need feta crumbles. I need a block of feta. So I'm like, crap. That's okay though, because I know that Target has blocks of feta cheese because that's where I found it last time. That's where I found it last time. Exactly. So I drive all the way to Target.
Yeah.
Get to Target, get to the section. Target has not changed up their entire store. Thank God. Target's where I should just always go if they weren't farther away. Get to the area. I find the little label. They're gone. They're there, but they're sold out. So I'm like,
sure. Everyone wanted TikTok pasta.
Okay. Then apparently. Then
I literally had it earlier this week also.
It's so good.
It's really tasty.
So I start Googling. I'm like, okay, well, someone's got to have it. And then Walmart has it. Thing about Walmart is right next to the Hy-Vee I was just at. So I have to go all the way back where I just was, go to Walmart, and then I have it pulled up on my phone. It says the aisle. So I go to their cheese section, not in the cheese section. Specialty cheese section, not in the specialty cheese section. I have to go to the other side of the grocery area, which is where the fresh produce is. And tucked in a corner is one little fridge with like a few shelves of cheese on there. And in the corner of that is the block of feta cheese. Like, oh my God.
Wild. Oh.
You know what's wild? Speaking of UI as well. Why don't, I don't know. So whenever you go to a store like Target or Walmart and try to look something up, it'll automatically pull what Walmart you're at. It will know. It's like, oh, want to buy this online from this Walmart? Yeah. And it's like, okay, you know what Walmart I'm at. Why don't at the top of the page just put a circle that says A5 for whatever aisle it's in?
Oh, true.
That would be so helpful. Instead, you'll have to go to the specifications and scroll a little bit and then find it. It's like, tell me where it's at. I'm trying to spend money here. Why are you stopping me from trying to buy things from you?
Oh my
The
god, true.
annoying thing about that for me is I look it up, I pull up Target, and it's like, you wanna buy from this Target? That's not the Target I'm currently
Okay,
at.
I've had
The
that
one
issue too.
it never selects the one that I'm at. So then I go, I'm like, "No, I want a different one." And it's like, "You
Yeah.
sure? You sure you don't want this one we pre-selected for you that you're not currently in?" And it literally takes me like 3 or 4 tries to actually get it to switch to the one that
Mhm.
I'm at.
Sure.
Adam, I
Yeah.
think we had a similar week because this was yesterday morning. I was like on a time schedule, so I had to like go to Target, pick up like 3 things.
Mhm.
And the last thing, I like looked it up, pulled up the wrong Target for like one in Milwaukee for some reason, which is
Yeah.
not anywhere near where I'm at.
Bit of a
Mhm.
trek.
And I like switched it. I had to switch it twice before it like finally set. And then it
Mhm.
was like, yes, this item is in store. And I was like, okay, where is it in store? And I just scroll. It's not in the description. It's not in product
Mhm, mhm.
details. It's in the specifications section.
Guys, I
Target is
found our secret stupid goal. We need to make treasure maps for grocery stores. How to find what we want.
You know
Grocery
what?
stores.
That'd be better.
Here's what I don't understand. They put a little circle with a letter and a number for the
Yeah.
aisles, and they don't use it on their app or use it in a clear, concise, easy way to see it.
Having
Now,
worked
Target
what's
at a
the
still
point
gets
of the
grocery
worse
circles?
about
store
that too.
ooh, having
Why don't you
worked
just
at a
put
grocery
random
store
digits? Put signs up there, like random, like sigils.
I'll tell you, even the employees have no idea what aisle, you know? Like,
Every time you ask an employee, they just pull up the app too and try to find it, and they don't know where the specification
we
section
have
is.
no clue. Oh my god. I worked in, like, a health and beauty section of a grocery store, which meant that I just stocked health and beauty items, like, every shift, all day, it was great. So I knew where everything in the health and beauty section was, but the moment someone was like, "Can you tell me where, like, pasta is?" I would be like, wanna go find it together?" Like, wanna just go on a little trek, a little journey? Like oh, man. Yeah. Whole time. Grocery stores should be better though. Like they've been around for a while. This is not like a new type of store. They should have it figured out.
Maybe stop making multiple different cheese sections.
Yeah, that was a start for sure.
Why?
Yeah,
Why is it not in one place?
no idea.
Kills me.
Um, I'll do a good thing too. I went to a concert earlier this week, and it was spectacular. It was Tessa Violet and Half Alive, two very good, well, solo acting band. And uh, absolutely in love with it. I haven't been to live music since 2019, and I missed it. It's such a good vibe. Oh my god. I always get like a little teary-eyed at concerts, like two specific moments. One, when anything cool tech-wise happens, because as a past techie, I know like the feeling of satisfaction that happens when you like hit the perfect light cue and you're like, "Oh my god, it's beautiful." But then two, inevitably it happens at every show and everyone gets like their phones out instead of lighters at this point, and it's
Mhm.
just like
Yeah.
this beautiful moment of camaraderie where we've all decided to do this little thing together. And I just think it's so beautiful and cute. Um, yeah, so it was good. It was a blast. Um, yep, go to live shows. Although I will say the opener, we got there a little late for her because we were a bit confused because this was like a headliner show, so Tessa Violet was headlining, and then Half Alive was like the main thing, but they also had an opener in front of all that, which I wasn't expecting because you have a headliner. Like, why do you need an opening act?
Mhm.
But they did have an opening act, and she kept woofing like to get the crowd hype, like she should go whoo
Interesting.
whoo 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 kind of thing, and everyone was
Huh.
doing it when we got in there, and I was
Oh,
like, this
okay.
is a vibe I don't understand.
Guess it
Um,
works.
yeah, but yeah, it did for them, and that's cool. We got there and everyone
Sure.
was woofing, and we were very confused. But Alrighty, watch out for vampires with warrants. They're confusing, and you have to really talk through whether or not they can get in or not. But don't just let them in off the bat. Really sit down and have a discussion with them.
Talk with your bank, see if the
Yeah.
mortgage rules and regulations allow it. Maybe check with your landlord if you have an apartment.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea. Oh my god. That's a whole other side of the discussion, landlords. But
What if the vampire is your landlord?
that's a sitcom.
Reframe the podcast Hacks for Vampires. Be a landlord.
Oh my god, truly. Yeah, watch John Mulaney. I'm trying to think of everything we talked about. Redbubble sucks. The economy, am I right? Grocery stores, am I right? Have a sunny Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.